Siri, turn on the studio lights. Ça qui passe, c'est Karyè, moi content avec vous dans Karyè in the morning matin et moi gagné yon invité son monde comme t'envie fait chita parler avec lui pendant longtemps et il fait moi parce que lui invité avant chita parler avec lui avant moi même t'ai invité venir chita parler avec lui moi gagné dans studio the one and only Stichiz. Yes. Stichiz, c'est son rappeuse, compositeur, son media personality, il est dans radio, il est dans TV, il est très impliqué dans la communauté et il a fait des bagages pour changer la vie jeune enfin, moun, mais spécialement jeune fille. Il va parler de tout ça jeudi. Stichiz a un background pour moi qui est extrêmement intéressant et très différent. Fait Ottawa, et puis bien sûr, vient grandit en Sud-Floride, et puis il est dans Sud-Floride. Il parle plusieurs langues, et il est vraiment son monde spécial. Et très content que je capable de gagner aujourd'hui.
Thank you. Carl, I love you.
I love you more.
Comment tu Thank you for having me.
What's up? How are you?
Nous là. Est-ce que n'a pas le créole, anglais, français?
On mélanger tout.
OK, n'a mélanger.
Jean à l'aise sans problème.
OK, comme si gombo.
OK,
n'a mélanger.
That's good. Pourquoi pas m'demander justement?
Oui.
Ou fait ou passeport canadien?
Oui. Ouais. Okay. All right. I'm legal, Carl. I'm legal. All right.
Yes,
I'm legal to be here.
We are born in Ottawa. So comment parents t'as vivre Canada ou raconter notre ticasse enfance?
Oui, vient de Haïti. Et puis they went to Canada. So that's where me and my siblings were born. Et puis yo dit non, Canada, trop froid.
Et puis you vient de Floride.
And that's when we came to Florida.
Okay. Good. Est-ce que vous songez enfance et your childhood in Ottawa ou bien vous t'es quitté tout petit?
Non, m'étais quitté tout petit, mais de temps en temps we go back and forth, and I still have jobs there for. I just actually finished up my contract for Sportsnet. So by God's grace, we were the first woman to voice Sportsnet, so it's like the equivalency to ESPN in the States.
Ça veut dire, vous avez fait radio média ou pas fait trop loin de lui?
Non.
Okay, good. So you still
music.
call Canada home, or?
They don't let me not call it home, to be honest. So my cousins over there, it's like, you are from here. So I'm like, oh, hi Canada. No, on est là.
And then vous venez en Floride.
Oui.
Ça veut dire vous faites tout en face ou l'école, boy, ici là, dans South Floride.
Yes, all in South Florida. So high school, college, ici.
Justement. Si je regarde par rapport à gens impliqués dans la communauté, est-ce qu'on grandit comme ça ou bien son bagage qui vient dans l'âge adulte?
Vraiment, that's a good question. Vraiment, je peux dire c'est ma mère et puis mon père parce que avec ma mère, she's really that person that she loves doing the right thing. She's all about do what's right. And then my dad had a heart for just people in general. But I really have to credit God because God has always really led me, I will say. And I it's just trying to do what he leads me to do. I'll be honest. So I try to lead with him.
That's good.
Yeah.
Quand il y a côté musique là vigné.
Ouh, ça c'est.
Et dis-moi qui l'a commencé because
bon.
You are a recording artist.
Oui,
so,
c'est vrai.
Course,
Thank you. I love the music. Depuis j'étais 7 ans. 7 years old, I started creating music, but that really came from my sister. Parce que that time, nous relais ça en hip-hop head. So, on moun qui aime musique, hip-hop, tout comme ça. Everything hip-hop, c'était ça. And she's older than me.
Dans quelle année là qu'on y a?
This was what year?
Oui, là ça a commencé.
Vers 6 ans.
6 ans?
Ouais, 6 ans. Et puis, at 7, that's when I started writing poetry. And then the poetry developed into stories. And then the stories developed into songs. So that's when, and I remember the day, vraiment, like it was yesterday. My sister, when she realized I had the talent, li demande me dit, oh, okay, I want you to write a rap and then come back to me. So I went into the patio, and at that, I was like 7, 8 or something, and I was writing about Rugrats.
Oh, yeah.
So I sat,
So you remember the lyrics?
Not the lyrics. No, you're not slick. You're not slick. Carl. You ain't slick. No, not for the rap for you. But I remember writing it, and then she came back in, and and she's like, oh. And from that time, I would perform with her and her groups because she had a record label.
Yeah.
And she managed artists and was in the industry. So I was 10, 11, 12 rapping on stage with 20-year-olds, with 30-year-olds. So I had that training already. And it was just, it was training is what I would say. So I'm grateful and blessed that she was the first one. God used her to see it in me and to help me.
So you remember the first time you went to a studio booth?
I do. I remember, that's a good question. I remember the first time I went, and that was when I realized I don't like people writing for me. Like I had to write myself. I can collaborate, but for someone to just write for me, comme ça, it was like, nah. And I remember at that age, they wrote it and it's like, hey, just rap this. And I'm like, and I was just tearing it up. Non mbap ça, non bagadi ça, non mbap ça. So to recreate the whole song. So I realized, okay, I am a writer.
Yeah, talking about recreating, faites recherche moi, and you call your musical style.
Vamos c'est vrai
pour dire.
Ouais, c'est for me.
All right, is schizophrenic.
Hey, c'est bon.
I got it. Yes. Yes. So, qui ça veut dire pour qui ça style ça y est lui-même pour mon cas identifier.
So for schizophrenic music, laisse ça parce que ou ka même l'aime parler ou ka entendre different langues, like different language and accents. And that was the same for my music. So I would rap in English, Creole, and French and have patois linguistics and des choses comme ça. So at that point, labels would say they don't know where to put me because it's like, okay, you sound like you could do hip hop, you sound like you could do soul, you sound like you could do R&B, you could even do rock and pop. They're like, we don't know where to place you. So me dit, bon, on finit avec ça, ma fait bagay moins, and stitch sounds together. When you stitch it together, you get schizophrenic music.
Okay, so Stitch, c'est là your nickname came from. Justement, qui est-ce qui baoule, est-ce que c'est qui crée pour qui sont les Stitches?
So Stichiz came, l'emte petit. My sister's name is Lace. Et puis, yon jour, te gen un DJ. Li tap travaille avec. Et puis, li vini from New York. Et puis, ou connaît New York, yo son, you talk like that son. Et puis, Sam te dit, oh, li kon rap. Et puis, il dit, non, I didn't look like it. So, m'te gale, m'di, est-ce que m'gale? Est-ce que m'gale? Puis, il dit, oh, allez, non. Puis, m'di, puis, monsieur dit, oh, you just gave me stitches, son. You gave me stitches. So, every time I get on the microphone, I try to give people stitches.
Oh, wow.
In a good way.
In a good way, yes.
Stitch you up.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So, quand il y a dans South Florida, qui ça qui t'influence justement? Est-ce que l'influence ou t'es venu dans zone là ou bien ou t'es peut-être regardé de l'autre artiste qui peut-être t'influencé ou en tout cas par rapport à style de musique qu'on a créé ça en fait?
Oui, vraiment m'ka dit it's just sounds of music. At that time, it was really even instrumentals and listening to beats. Even with my dad, he would listen to some compa and like things with beats and hip hop. I love DMX, just his rawness and his ability to intertwine his music with his faith and not be afraid of talking about God. And then even Tina Turner, her voice was so different. And when people heard me, they were like, we don't know, you sound a little different. So I just try to own it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Pour moi-même, ça intéressant, mais quand il y a envie qu'on est, ou lever dans le sud Floride, ça veut dire, voici là, les plus facile pour moi exprimer Haitian roots.
Okay.
You know, it's like, c'est pas comme si on caché ou haïtien, and faire, etc. Est-ce que ça t'est toujours dans où, justement, to express yourself and claim your Haitian roots?
Vraiment, it came later on. When I say later on, it came when I was maybe 17. 16, 17, parce que c'est haïtien, and I tried rapping in Creole, and when I realized that I could, and then at that time we created something called kreye.
Okay.
So mixing Creole with reggae. So that we called it at that time kreye. So and nobody was doing it at that time. And I got to shout out Mecca because when at that time he had Karyè and he was really doing well and still doing well. Yeah. But really
in the music side.
In the music side, combining that hip hop culture with the American culture, with popular culture. So we would just be performing and doing our best to just put it out.
That's good. Est-ce qu'on peut dire nous peut-être quelques gros bagages qu'on réalise dans la musique là qui font fier et qu'on songe qu'on peut dire nous là maybe a show that you did or recognition that you had or something like that?
Oui, lè nou te ale Dominican Republic.
So you tour?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
and it was shout out to Shadow and B. They brought us over there, and when I saw that they knew my song,
wow,
I'm like, what? And I was still in school, and we were doing the interviews in Spanish, and I could play it off. So I could play it off.
Yeah.
But it was really just a blessing to see, even in the Dominican Republic, because there were still Haitians and there were still Dominicans and some Americans, I believe, there too. But to see that people showed up and were just vibing with it, it was a blessing.
That was good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
It really was.
That's really good. So now, the media thing.
Yes.
Comment vini la konye?
Media, ba sa ben lo. Sa c'est tout bon Dieu m'ka di. Tout bagay c'est bon Dieu m'ka di sa. But I remember one day when I was in school, parler anglais créole. But I was in my junior year in school. Et puis m toujou di, lè on bagay pou li pou. Pa gen yon moun ki ka point from you. It's yours, it's yours. But I heard somebody on the radio. Et puis m de di se, m di, bon, m vle fè sa, oui. M vle fè bagay sa. M di kon sa. And then they were doing a competition with another radio station. And I did, and I think I won second place. Et puis depuis ça, m di, oh, so in college, my junior year, you weren't allowed to do internships, but so our department chair, Miss Alvarez, Spanish lady, blanche, cheveux blanche, et puis m'dem dit bon, est-ce que vous pouvez écrire un bagay pour moi, if so I can get the intern. You
get
agreed.
The internship?
I got the internship, fast forward. But I always have to... But I have to say this part because when you want something or when you're going for something, stay focused. Because there will always be a time of distraction and there will always be people who may try to divert it.
True.
Because during that interview for the internship, t'es un monde qui était tellement méchant. They were just mean. Mais moi-même dit, oh, oui, pas de problème. Ouais, sure, yeah, sure. But I realized if I let him depress me or if I let him discourage me, I wouldn't have got it.
Yeah.
So thankfully, we got through that part. And then he said, hey, do you want to intern for so-and-so? He's across the hall. So I went in, and the first day, the number one thing in radio is when the red light goes on, you're live.
You're live, yes.
Right, you know that.
On air.
On air, you're on air, and you don't want dead air.
Yes.
So we're talking, et puis monsieur a dit,
Micro l'ouvri.
Comme ça. On dit, oh. Et puis, parler. So from that day on, he put me as Peaches.
Oh, wow.
And I would like do entertainment news for him. Parler comme ça. But I did it up until I was an intern. Fast forward, I stayed in contact with the people there and learned from everybody there. And then they said, hey, just keep in contact and we'll let you know. God's grace, somebody called me back and said, hey, Stitch, here's an opening in news. Take the job, get back in the building, and work your way up. So I got the lowest position, which was board op. In my head, my goal was a show.
Yeah.
I said, okay, let me learn the board now. I'm going to have my show.
Yeah.
They transitioned me to traffic. Oh, I'm going to have my
traffic.
show. Let me be Becky Barnes. If you see a traffic problem, call Becky Barnes.
Yeah.
I'm going to need my show. I'm going to need traffic.
Yeah.
They transitioned me to do bloggings and web.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my show. Let me learn how to do the bloggings now. So, and
you
then
stay focused.
I stay focused.
Yeah.
I stay focused. Fast forward. I also applied for a job with Y100, which was the top 40 station.
Yeah.
So at working 3 jobs, and then doing promotions. Finalement, bon Dieu, ça c'est bon Dieu.
Yeah.
One day, I'm walking and doing my job to the best. That's why I say anything that you're given to do it to the best of your ability, because people are watching.
True.
And they thought I loved my job. I ain't like no promotion. I love people, but I'm going to do my job. So one day, mwen an moun mba jam wel. E pi m konnen bon Dieu te di, al di hello, go say hi. M tourne, m di, hi, comment ou ye, kon sa, oui, walk into there, comment salut. E pi m di, li di, kijan rele, m di, Stichiz. Li di, oh, m tande about you. M di, oh, okay. Li di, yeah, let's sit down and meet. M di, oh, okay, pa gen problem. So, I find Bumzu. So I bring my music,
Ouais.
I bring my air check. Air check is how you sound on the radio.
Yes.
Nou chita, nou meet, monsieur me dit, okay, here's my music. Et puis, il dit, oh, why do you want to do radio? You need to do music. Me dit, merci en pile. Listen to the radio.
Yes.
Li tande, et puis il dit, I need you on my station.
Oh, wow.
Monday,
Qui est-ce que justement, qui moun...
the senior vice president for Urban Radio iHeart.
No way.
The senior vice president, Doc Winner.
No way.
I call him Unc now.
Yeah.
So when it's for you, it's for you.
Yeah.
Grâce à Dieu.
And you follow that voice saying, go say hi to that.
Holy Spirit say, go say hi. M'di allô. Et puis, and that's where...
Et vous êtes tout paré tout. You had everything ready to pitch yourself.
Bon Dieu. People don't know, that's what I say. People don't see the work though. I was up 4 a.m. in the morning still working my promo job and still working my board opping job and learning from every single person. Ooh, look at the domino effect. Everyone that I was learning from different stations, I later found out they were all in a meeting.
Oh, wow.
And they asked about me.
Oh, wow.
So you don't know. Good. You don't know who's going to have a say.
C'est comme ça non cité.
Bon Dieu qu'a mette non sous tout mon bouche.
Bien sûr, bien sûr. C'est ça qui est important parce que non seulement vous faites travail bien, ou t'es paré. C'est pour ça que monde peut-être qu'a dit c'est chance, mais c'est pas de chance.
No.
That was the right moment pour te faire ça.
Yep.
And since then you've been on 103.
And since there, God's grace, I've been there.
And of course, c'est iHeartRadio, c'est gros bagay. And then you had the opportunity to go to New York to co-host the
the Breakfast Club. Yeah, that was a blessing.
C'est même network là.
Oui.
Justement, so tout bagay ça yo. Commençons côté.
Yes.
This is great.
And that's where it came from. So now I'm here. I just got off of Nashville, but I'm in Detroit, Atlanta, Jacksonville, and there were hundreds of other stations.
Dans Florida, il y a peut-être des voix tout partout.
Oui, bien sûr.
This is great.
Yeah, thank you.
This is great. And you the thing also is like you stay humble par rapport à tout ça qu'on a fait, especially on the radio side. Like, let me I was like, oh wow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But this is great.
Thank
this is great.
You. It's a blessing.
But now, justement, l'autre dit qu'on t'envie faire radio, qu'on vient remel, puisque moi-même qui fait le tout, je connais que son il faut remel, faut mettre cœur là-dedans.
You love it.
Faut connecter avec moi.
Oui.
So, me supposer que it's being rewarding for you.
It has been, and it has its ups and downs because when everybody vacates, you're still at work because it's radio.
True.
But I'm No, I love what I do. You kind of have to take the good with some of the bad that it may come with. Because certain things you may not want to promote or
You're
push.
on there for like 2 hours, right?
No, pero not 2 hours.
No.
Tu sabes, papi, no.
Combien de temps vous on there?
Like 5 for that station.
No, like 5 hours?
What?
Yeah, true, c'est vrai.
2 hours? No. Who the 2 hours? Give me 2 hours, baby.
Yeah.
No, baby. No, we there for a little bit. And then I still have voiceover stuff that I do for agencies that different contracts that I have to commit to. So it's several other stations that I'm the voice of. Yeah. But my main station is Miami. 103.5.
That's really good.
Yes, sir.
That's really good. And then you do TV as well.
Yes.
You have your own show on Island TV.
Yeah, shout out to Island TV.
Tamara, hello.
T-Baby and Fred, Mr. Fred.
Yes, tell me about that opportunity that you got.
Yes, that came, actually, first we were on the Connect show with the CW. So we're still doing that here, DC and Texas. And then NBC6, I do shout out to Constance. We do that on the weekend, so weekend events. And then Miss T approached and said, I appreciate it. She pretty much approached and said that, there's an opportunity if I have a show in mind.
To broadcast, to do it, to come and produce it at Island TV.
And it worked out because we do every third Thursday of the month, we have a program called Teen Open Mic. So that is pretty much a platform where timoun tout talent yo gagne, bon Dieu bayo, they can express themselves safely. And I got to get you to be a judge.
Yes,
okay?
please. Bring me
Bring
on.
the kids. Let's go.
Video.
But we give a cash prize and try to pour it back into them. So shout out to our whole team for that. But during the halftime show, we used to do something called Gen Z Got Next. And that's recognizing the teens who are doing academically well. So we just took that portion of the show and turned it into the television show.
Okay.
So this is our future with Stichiz. And it's the next generation of our youth who are just doing great things, like forgetting about the bad news for a little bit and focusing on the good things they're doing, but not forgetting the mentors who are pushing them into their destiny.
Yeah, that's amazing. Mais qu'on y a combien de temps pour faire tout ça, Stichiz? 5 hours on radio. You have other...
that's recorded. Like, kind of...
Yeah, but sometimes your life too.
Yeah.
So, your life on the radio, you have your TV show.
Yes, sir.
M'boko même vini nan aspect, justement, community services that you do, avec tout ça qu'on va faire, etc. Comment tu temps? How do you manage?
That's God. I don't. I mean, it got to be. It got to be because everything that we do. That's why I have to be very intentional with what I do and when I do it. Because if si c'est pas bon Dieu qui dit m'ka faire, m'pa faire, vraiment. And there's a lot of things that I've realized that I had to turn down.
Do you say a lot of no's?
Yeah. I had to, even more so now, and they were big no's. No's that I know probably could have, quote, taken me to another level that were attached to big name artists. Man, m'tende clair, bon Dieu dit no.
No, yeah.
So m'baka fel. I like to sleep at night. So.
Of course. Moi aime ça. Konnen now ou vin vraiment involved dans la communauté à tout. Ça c'est bagay you do au-delà de radio, de TV. You do things like every year, for example, na Copa Festival, you come and give checks or promote scholarships and things like that.
Yes, sir. Oui, that's a blessing. That started Lemte na l'école, actually. Project Teach, teaching, educating children for hope, all children for hope. So what we do is basically give scholarships to students who are in need. So we do this every quarter. And by God's grace, Demesman and Dover Law Firm, they're one of our main sponsors now. And scholarship plug. So it's really just recognizing students who are excelling well in school, but they just need a little push. And it's a lot of times just to remind them, get mun kiap well. So don't give up and don't be discouraged. And the reason why I'm very specific in where we do it, so the students can see that there's yoga supo.
Yeah.
So when you're at the Compa Festival and you see the students, because when they come, when you meet them, they don't know they won.
Yeah.
None of them ever know.
Oh yeah?
Until
they're on stage.
When they on stage, that's when they know you're super crisa, you're what? Like, okay.
Wow.
But we want them to feel that love. And that's why I encourage, I'd say people cheer on these kids because what they're going through, we can't even imagine.
Yeah.
So even as adults, when we go through things, it's not as easy. But imagine being a kid and the access they have with their phones and through social media and the web. It's just a different time. So for those kids who need a little encouragement, we definitely try to do our best to push them. Like, hey, keep going. Noël.
C'est ça qui est important.
Oh, that's a program. Noël.
Yeah.
No, Flaco by Emil.
Yeah, Noël. Ça veut dire, of course, this is good.
Yeah.
Mais tout ça que vous fait,
yes, sir.
Ou fait ou toujours mettez communauté, ou toujours mettez Haïti devant. Et pour moi, c'est extrêmement important parce que moi connais comment communauté a évolué ici là, mais nous pas vraiment grand pile monde qui a représenté nous on the highest level, especially in media.
Yeah.
And then you do it so well.
Likewise.
Et puis ensuite, vous retournez encore dans la communauté. Ou toujours là pour n'importe qui événement, ou venir parler, you host, et hype the crowd and things like that. This is great. Mais en même temps, vous parlez un peu de bon Dieu.
Oui.
Et moi, j'ai fait cette transition ça là par rapport à ça, ou toujours gain, vraiment, ou toujours gon mot pour dire, you can do like random video, but it's like, anti-message pour des monde, etc. Ça qu'inspire ou fait genre de bail ça?
Ouf, m'ka di vraiment, c'est bagay m'te ouais. Things that I went through and just my testimony, just literally God saving my life when I know it couldn't have been anybody. And I have to always share this now, and I'm getting comfortable with it, hoping that it helps somebody else. Like the word death was literally written on my back, DEATH. And my mom, now the other person who saw it is passed, but my mom could witness that. And I know I was written for dead. Like death was on my back.
Wow.
C'est le bon Dieu m'kadou qui dit non, pas petit moi. So with knowing that and how God took me out of certain things, c'est comme si ou gen on zami qui fait un bagay pour. faut dire merci.
Ouais, éternellement reconnaissant.
Faut dire ça.
Yeah.
And I cannot not. And sometimes people get frustrated with me, même pas capable, parce que me connais qui ça lui fait pour moi. So when I see somebody struggling or when I see somebody, it's not to say I don't go through things. Of course, child Becky might make about my friend. I be crying, child. I be crying. I go through things.
Yeah.
But I know God is able. I know what is the foundation. So when I see somebody hurting or going through something, it's like, no, there's a way out.
Yeah.
And people have to, I know people know them from Zisa because I see and I hear and listen to a lot of people. People are suffering.
Yeah.
And people are suffering with no hope. So to hear and see somebody suffering, not understanding that there's still hope, hope is with an expectation of something good tomorrow.
Yeah.
So when you don't even think, oh, Papa said there's a good tomorrow, how do you live? So to see somebody feeling like that, I have to tell you about Jesus. I have to tell you that, no, it can get better. It will get better, but you got to believe.
True.
So that's where my core comes from. You don't know why somebody prays so much until you know what they've been through.
True.
So sometimes all you got to do is ask or listen.
Yeah, mais en même temps, j'aime tout là ou bailler tout devoir pour passer message là tout.
Yeah.
Pour tout get.
Amen.
Pour faire des monde faire des témoignages tout.
Oui.
Sometimes.
Yes, please. Because what we go through is c'est jamais just for ourselves. It's really to help somebody else. God will use it and he can turn anything around. That's Ezekiel. I just learned that Ezekiel 21:27. He'll overturn it. He'll overturn it and he can make it work for your good. So when you know that, it's like things that we go through. It's like, God, something good got to come out of this. I keep bon, But if you don't even know that, that's where suicide comes from.
Yeah.
That's where addiction comes from, where you don't even think because you start to take things that will paralyze you from thinking about tomorrow because you don't even want to see it.
Yeah.
So to offer something like, no, I know this works because it worked for me. If it worked for me, baby, it's going to work for you. So, but it's a choice. So all I can do is offer. But how can, thank you for this.
Yeah.
How can people know if you don't share?
True.
How can people see if you don't tell it? How can people hear if you don't say it? So I try to say it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
I ain't
amazing.
perfect. I'm not perfect.
No, that's amazing.
at all.
That's amazing.
All right.
I know, but le fait que vous faites, pour moi, c'est consistance. Là.
Yeah.
Ça veut dire, c'est pas tant qu'on le ou envie faire, ou bien on senti que ou fait avec moins c'est fort,
Right.
c'est toujours même énergie.
Amen.
And the vibe that qu'on bail dans monde qui bon côté de façon que justement ou toujours accueillir monde parler monde spécialement délivrer message ça
Yeah.
c'est moins comprendre and I was like
Yeah.
this is
Amen.
great.
Thank you. That's the Holy Spirit. Boy, I can't even take no credit. Sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I'm just tired, Carl.
Of course.
Sometimes I just want to sit down. All right.
So c'était peut-être qu'on gagne des plans de notre projet
Oui.
qui a venu. Can you share what's next for you?
Thank you
What's
for
coming?
asking. So our children's book, we're working on the third one.
Nice.
We have the first one, Tu es belle, You Are Beautiful, Abby's Great Day. And that's really just promoting for our kids to love the color that God gave you. So si c'est noir, blanc, whatever your color is, yellow, green, love the color you are because we found that at a young age, si yo pa aime yo même, how can they love and appreciate others?
Yeah.
And there was an experiment that we saw to get deux dolls, en noir en blanc. Et puis when they saw the black doll, yo pa aimé, yo dit c'est laid, yo laid by. Et puis c'est
qui semblait.
Je dis oh non mon cher. Et puis finalement my nephew, my sister told me he was 7 at the time and he was looking at the cartoons of the animals. Vous connaissez ça dit? Il dit see mommy, even the lighter animals are nicer.
Oh wow.
7 years old. So kijan at this age you can communicate color with character. How?
Yeah.
That's trained.
Yeah.
That's a training that you've seen. And it wasn't in his house that he was seeing it. So
l'école.
it's something that you're watching that's doing that. So the book really, I pray, translates that. And then the second one, Timmy's Great Day, is to really help with the kids who have disabilities to focus on the things that you can do.
Nice.
So the next one we're working on, and also the cartoon we're finishing up. So Michael, if you're watching this, waiting on
He's
you,
the
buddy.
Cartoonist?
Yes, Michael the cartoonist. I'm looking at you, buddy. Okay, sorry, put you out there.
Yeah,
yes,
that's good. That's a lot of projects.
Yes, and then the music project, the EP.
The EP is coming.
Yes,
finally.
It's done. And c'est pour Haïti.
C'est pour Haïti.
So
Vous
from
chantez créole?
Oh, Creole, oui, Creole, French. Ouais.
Okay.
So Creole, English. Oh, got it.
Come on. I'm a follower. I'm a fan. I told you that.
Family, thank you. But yes, something like that. And then we have like maybe a few collaborations, but more musicians.
Okay.
Joe Exyani's on there as well.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. We're finishing that up, and the videos, Ted Pro did some of the videos for it. So that's coming soon. And then not our last project, but our more recent project is, this is what I know God gave us: praise, pray, and provide. So with the things that have been happening in California, the fires, like people have lost everything. So what I feel like God has been giving us is that praise, pray, and provide, ushering in that praise and worship, bringing people back to hope.
Yeah.
And then that provide part is we're hoping to be able to raise at least gift cards and stipends for lodging, so people can stay in hotels for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
So for now, we're doing something called a praise-a-thon on Instagram.
Okay.
So 4 hours, 4 days, we're going to be praising
wow.
on IG.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can come on over and IG at Stichiz Stichiz and come on through.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nous te parlé de South Florida with your Haitian roots, c'est tout ça qu'on a fait dans la communauté. Est-ce que Haitian Heritage Month is your favorite period of the year, being Haitian?
Well, nous Haïtiens chaque jour, mon cher. Haïtien chaque jour, là, ben. But I love Haitian Heritage Month, and I appreciate the platforms that I'm blessed to be on, because now that's the month where I go in.
Yeah.
Like I bring in my people.
Last year
we did come in, baby.
Yeah.
Why they let me? Why my boss said give me an inch, I take 2 miles, baby.
Yeah.
Not a mile, I take 2 miles. So we've had people from different countries representing Haiti come down, and just people really making a difference, and unsung heroes, people that you don't hear about and know about, but they're doing amazing work. So the goal is to really highlight the excellence of our people and the greatness of our people, because even with the things that you see online and by we're not gonna do that. But my goal is to always to highlight the best of us. There'll be other networks who highlight the bad, but I want to showcase the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. And thank you for coming on too.
Oh, well, of course.
One of the best interviews I had.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was.
I'm honored.
It was.
I'm honored. Non, c'est intéressant. Pour moun qui pas connaît justement, Stichiz dans Haitian Heritage Month toujours dans toute plateforme que li gagne highlight Haitians qu'a fait
Haitian
bagay.
greatness,
Et année
baby.
passée justement on te gagne tout on pléiade de monde qu'on mène dans radio, vinn faire interview et parler de ça que a fait. It was amazing.
Thank you for being a part of it.
Come on.
We continue. Next time we're gonna have more food, because we have chefs who coming as well.
More food and maybe hopefully font gros coquenchen bagay avec yo.
That's the word. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on
You're
it.
gonna work on it.
Too early. Don't work on it. Okay. We'll talk about it later.
That's it. En tout cas, on a obtenu le PA. Do you have a release date or time frame you voulez partager?
Yes, I need to put it out. It's been done. I need to put it out before the end of this year. But the goal, I'll share it with you, because it's the first time I'm sharing it.
You should come and talk about it. We can maybe
another
preview
day.
it. Of course, another day.
Okay, so I'll share it for another day. Okay. We'll stick a pin in that.
Of course, that's
stick
good.
a pin.
We're gonna do that.
Okay.
Stichiz, thank you very much.
Thank you.
J'étais content de parler avec vous.
Merci.
Toujours belle énergie, toujours content avec
you.
vous. And then keep doing what you're doing. And bon Dieu a continué guido pour faire ça faire ou utile communauté and
you're gonna
keep
make
shining.
me cry. Don't do that. Can I say something to you too, Kyle?
Okay. Yes.
Sea baby is what I call him, my sea baby.
Yeah.
For all that you do, and for all that you selflessly put yourself out there to support and to really, I'll say carry.
Yeah.
Carry your brand, carry the people. Thank you. And it's not unnoticed, and I know people tell you thank you all the time, but from me to you, I say it on television, and you get the flowers now. I brought you something, but I'm going to get you something better
you
later
bought me
on.
something.
Okay.
It's over there, but I got
But
it.
God bless you, and thank you for all that. I love you.
Voilà. Merci tout le monde. C'était Stichiz. Suivez-les online. Et puis, sous
Stichiz.
South Florida, 103.5 The Beat.
Yes.
C'est lui-même qui a joué bonne musique pour.
Thank you.
Et faut vraiment passer un bon moment pendant la chez nous ou bien la caillou sans problème.
Stichiz. Stichiz.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you.
That's good.
Good.
We need a handshake. What's our handshake?
We need, let's create it now.
Okay, ready?
Okay, how are we going to do it?
Tap. On. Et puis, lagil.
Okay, let's.
Encore.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
All right.
Fly. Yes!